I want to give a quick shout out to the flagship sponsor of David Talks Buffs and David Talks Broncos YouTube channel, and that is Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market. This is peer-to-peer sports prediction where players play against each other, like you and me, instead of a sports book versus the house. You almost always get the best odds on any play that you're looking to make. They operate in over 40 states, including Texas, where I reside. So use the promo code Dave and claim up to $200 in profit cash for all plays in the first 30 days of playing on the site. Terms and conditions apply. Go ahead, click the link in the description, sign up using my promo code Dave on Profit X, and join me on America's #1 sports prediction market. Buff Nation, what is going on? We're past the bye week. Now we're looking at Utah, and I'm sure I'll look up the Vegas odds here in just a moment, but we are not expected to win this game. But we absolutely have an opportunity to build off of this Iowa State week, having 2 weeks to prepare for Utah. Well, they had to deal with the Holy War. Now, they lost a heartbreaker. They're going to be trying to avenge that, no doubt about it. But that's an emotional game. It was a tough loss that they had, and we need to capitalize on this. We are rested. We are finally healthy, and I'm going to give you some keys, some reasons why I believe that we can get an upset. We can get an upset. Again, guys, I don't think we're going to be favored coming into this game, and likely – I mean to say, I like that. I like that we're not going to be favored coming into this game. The pressure is going to be on Utah. We're at 3-4. We're coming off of playing our best game of football. I think one of Coach Prime's best games, if not the best game that he has coached, in that win over number 22 Iowa State at the time. Let's go ahead and get into some reasons why I'm feeling the upset, baby. So first off, I'll get to a few of your comments. Eric, what's good? What's good, David? It is the Wild West in college football, and the firings are not over. Glad we are stable with Coach Prime. Absolutely, man. Yeah, shout out to all the schools losing their coaches. Buddy, flush the season. Buddy, man, your takes have been terrible lately, man. Man, you need to do the Aaron Rodgers thing with the ayahuasca or something, man. I don't know why you're in such a bad mood, man. Why are you in such a bad mood? All right, let's go ahead and get into it. One of the first reasons why I believe that we should have a chance to upset in this game is that we should be finally healthy on this defensive line. At least I'm hoping. And you guys might have forgotten some of the guys that we've had on our defensive line because guys like Amari McNeil have been playing a ton while we've been dealing with injury. And hopefully this week, and, Brandon Davis-Swain as well, hopefully this week we see maybe not a full complement of our defensive line rotation, but much more. And Utah, they're running the ball for I think over 240 yards coming into this matchup. They run the ball. SparkNotes version, my keys to the game, make Devin Dampier have to beat you. Right now, Utah has a phenomenal running attack. If Devin Dampier beats you, if we got to play a bunch of man coverage in order to stop the run, that's probably what we're going to have to do. I can live with that. What I can't live with is 300 rushing yards given up by this defense and us getting obliterated on the ground and losing a bunch of time of possession stuff, man. Anything can happen. You guys see when Kaidon Salter throws the football, the same thing is true for Devin Dampier. Absolutely. So I'm hoping that we get back guys like, one, Jaheim Otis needs to step the heck up, right? Jaheim Otis, we need to see him play some good ball coming out of this bye. But we need guys like Anquin Barnes. We need guys like Torian Carter really, really playing well. I think Tavian Coleman's out for the year, right? But if we can get Barnes and Carter, some of these guys playing, more from Walker, more from Keaton Wade, if we can just put a dent, if we can keep Utah under, let's say, 175 rushing yards, I think we're going to have a really, really great opportunity to win this football game. No doubt about it. Of course, having a fully healthy secondary would help, But right now, I got to say, if we're not going to play TJ Branch, if Coach Prime is going to, start a true freshman on the road for his first, college football action, real college football action, I understand that, even though I really want to see TJ Branch. But I honestly think that we should have Ben Finiseth starting at safety right now alongside Tafik Bayard. I think that we've just seen more consistent play from Ben Finiseth than over Carter Stoutmire. We're going to need Tafik Bayard to be big time up in the box, helping in run support. And while Ben is not, maybe he's not, freak athlete or anything like that, I do think the safety play overall has been a little bit better with him back there as opposed to Carter. Y'all tell me if you think I'm wrong there, but that's kind of how I see the situation. Now, let's get into some of the team totals right here. This is where things get interesting. So when you look at it here, I mean, right now, neither one of these offenses are very pass or effective in the pass. Right now, we're averaging 218 passing yards a game. Utah is right below us at 216. But here's where the big disparity comes. We are averaging 143 rushing yards. Okay, pat yourself on the back. Much, much better than where we've been the last couple of years. Kind of right in the middle of the pack when it comes, or lower end of the pack when it comes to the Big 12. But look at Utah right now. They're averaging 100 more rushing yards a game, man. So, again, we're going to need the defensive front to be really fresh, really aggressive. Of course, when you got more bodies to rotate, that's really going to help, especially on the road. Now, remember, man, similar to when the Utah Utes play BYU, the altitude isn't going to be a factor with us being there. So we need to rotate. I don't think we'll run out of energy, hopefully. And our linebackers, Reginald Hughes, Sean Myers. I can't remember if Sean Myers has been just benched, not playing due to injury. We haven't really seen him much. Sean Myers, we really need a big-time Martavius French game. I know that he's been a little inconsistent, but if we can have some big games from those guys being consistent in their run fits, along with Jeremiah Brown, if this team can play closer to their potential rather than their floor, which is where I feel like we've been at the majority of the year, we should absolutely be in a position to win this football game. The good news is that we showed that we can play closer to our potential against Iowa State. Not necessarily perfect, but play good enough to win. Be disciplined, make less mistakes than the other team. But this is really what it's going to come down to. Stopping the run against Utah. And we need to take this personally, man. The defense, Robert Livingston, needs to have these guys locked in and fired up. And again, I'm hoping with the bye week that we're getting reinforcements in our front seven, and we're going to, again, having not played in 2 weeks, we're going to be fresh. We're going to look like the more aggressive team. We have to win the trenches battle, no doubt about it. I mean, this is just simple stuff. Let's see here. There's a few other things I wanted to cover. We'll go to the defense. This is interesting. So right now we're kind of middle of the road right now when it comes to total defense, giving up 23.7 points per game. Utah, of course, is one of the best in the Big 12 at 15.3 rushing yards given up per game. Yeah, we're one of the worst. That's the thing. But look at that, 188 yards per game. If we can give up like 175, I think we will be in this game. I really do think so. And again, the passing defense, Utah just has a very, very good defense. But similar to the defensive line, we should be getting guys back to help this offense. Now, the offensive line has been healthy. They've been playing fantastic football all year, which is great. And again, they're going to be fresh, having been off for 2 weeks. But hopefully we can get our full complement of weapons back. We're talking about Traylon Miller. I think Dallin Hayden is really starting to come together, right? Michael Welsh. Maybe we get somebody like Trackhawk back. That would be very exciting. Simeon Price. We'll see how the injury report looks on Wednesday or on Thursday, but this is something that I am expecting to see a lot more of our complement of playmakers available in this game. And I think, man, if we just play disciplined football, we saw it with BYU taking down Utah. We saw this. If they are able to make less mistakes, they're just able to run the football well, execute simple plays. I'm talking about not asking Kaidon Salter to read a bunch of high lows and all this stuff, man. I'm talking about having designed runs for him, having working in pre-snap motion, those types of looks, jet sweeps. That will open up running lanes for Kaidon Salter. I think that you have to make him a runner more so in this game than maybe some previous games. But we've shown the ability to get out to leads against good teams, against TCU, against BYU. And it was our turnovers and our mistakes that flipped the time of possession, that flipped the momentum, all of these things. So we've shown it in spurts. We've been able to put it together a little bit more against Iowa State, which is great. But I think we have to come out really wanting to establish the run, have some creative run looks that you can execute, and then pairing that with vertical routes, man. Kaidon Salter has shown the ability to throw these vertical routes really, really well, where he has made some of his worst throws and decisions, has been working the short game. Again, it's been reading late, having bad anticipation on some of these, roll out high-low type concepts. So again, just makes things simple for him, man. If you got one-on-one coverage, if you got man coverage, you're throwing a jump ball to Omarion. Or, hey, you got this zone look, you're going to have these over routes available hitting Joseph Williams, man. Like you saw a little bit more of that. So I think Coach Prime, Pat Shurmur deserve credit, I think, for giving Kaidon Salter enough throws to where I think that he should be coming in right now into this game feeling the most confident he has been this year. And we're going to need that. I think we're going to have to hit deep shots against Utah. We need to be aggressive. So, yes, running the ball, but pairing that with the deep shots. I think Kaidon Salter throws the deep ball well. And we're going to be facing, my guess, is probably 6-7 man boxes against Utah. So there's going to be one-on-one balls to throw. And that, I think, could be in favor of Kaidon Salter, man. As long as, again, you don't really know what version of him you're going to get. But right now, I'm going to bank on the fact that he's going to build off of this performance against Iowa State, play turnover-free football. And again, I think it was just a huge thing for Coach Prime on that 3rd and 17 to ice the game. They weren't going to punt the ball, run the ball, and then punt. He said, you know what, let's just go win the game right now. And Kaidon Salter showed a great ability to layer those passes downfield, like up the seam, man. So again, like those deep outs, those deep balls, the verticals, the seams, those over routes. I feel like those are the balls that he's like thrown really well. I'm still not a huge fan of our screen game. I wouldn't necessarily do a lot of that. But run the football tape, deep shots, baby. We got to have some big plays in order to put the pressure on Utah. And another thing that is encouraging on the road at TCU, rowdy environment. We got off to a 14-0 lead. It should have been a 21-0 lead if Kaidon Salter doesn't throw that interception on the 1-yard line, right? Which is very, very frustrating. To his credit, he didn't do any of that this past game. So we have shown that, hey, we can get out to a hot start, which is something that this team has struggled with in the past quite a bit with Shedeur, strangely enough. Now let's build on that. Now let's, ride that momentum into the second half, right? Not have any turnovers. So Devin Dampier, nothing that he's doing is overly impressive. And frankly, he hasn't needed to be impressive at all because of how dominant Utah is running the football. Again, I think that's going to be the matchup. Can our front seven have some spine going up against the best rushing attack in all the Big 12? And that's the Utes. And you might say, Dave, I mean, it's a big mismatch. This is the other thing, I guess, before I talk about this. This is the Big 12, y'all. This is the Big 12. It's the conference of parity. It's the conference of, you know what? There really isn't that much disparity between all these teams, man. As long as we play disciplined football, we will be in every game. I'm not saying we'll win every game, but we will be right there. I absolutely believe it. So look at Devin Dampier. A little less than 1,400 passing yards, 68% completion, 13 TDs, 4 interceptions, 6 sacks. Okay. He's got 442 rushing yards on the ground, though. And that's really the big key with him, is that he's a fantastic playmaker with his legs. So when you compare him to Kaidon Salter, again, Kaidon Salter's been a little bit worse than him. About 250 less passing yards, completion percentage, a couple percentages lower, 9 passing touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And not too different, except Kaidon Salter, again, has not been as big of a threat with his legs, 270 yards, but 5 touchdowns there with his legs compared to, I guess, Devin Dampier's also got 5. But I think this is a game in which we need like a big game on the ground from Kaidon Salter. And if we can get that with a few shots that make some big plays, again, like we have the advantage in the Big 12 with our wide receivers going up against man coverage. Again, let's not overcomplicate things. When we got those shots, we got to take them downfield. So don't want to, again, see him throw in the intermediate game much at all. That has been disastrous for us. And again, when we've kept things simple for Kaidon Salter, that's when he's been at his best. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a fun game, man. Let me go ahead and look up the odds here. I'll get to a few of your comments. Shout out to ProfitX. They don't have the lines set yet. Biggest Insider, Colorado, Utah football. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So, yeah, it's looking like we're 13.5-point underdogs on most sites. Let's take a look at what the money line is. Plus 400, plus 450. Yeah, I mean, we're big time underdogs. We should take this absolutely personally. And again, in the Big 12, man, as long as you're not beating yourselves, you should be in every game with an opportunity to win. So Utah, they don't do anything like incredibly, they're not like Ohio State or just like an unstoppable engine. What they are, they're very good at execution, man. They don't care that you know what plays they're running, man. They're going to run it right down your throat. Now, they will incorporate, I think, some really tricky motion from time to time, right? They're a well-coached football team, and they've bounced back after dealing with a lot of injuries under Kyle Willingham the last couple of years. But this is going to be a test for the Buffs. But honestly, man, I'm really, really excited. I want to see this team play well off the bye. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think Coach Prime teams out of the bye have generally played really well, even going back to his time at Jackson State. So, yeah, this is going to be a great test to see, hey, are we going to be able to build off of, I think, what was our best performance of the year? No doubt about it. So I'll get to a few of your comments, see what you guys got to say. Buddy, I put you in timeout, man, because, buddy, you're normally the positive one. You normally got great takes, man. I don't like that. I don't like that you're being Mr. Negative here, man. You need to smoke some weed. Hey, Dave, did you see Alexander Ward? Yes, Ward's brother decommits from Alabama. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're going to be in play for both Christian Ward and Alexander Ward. I love to see that. Lamar coming in here. Coach Prime is 5-9 in games that start after 7:30 and 4-3 after bye weeks. It's going to be very, very interesting. But yeah, Jeremiah Brown has had a solid couple weeks. I would agree with you. And again, we're going to need the linebackers and defensive line to really bring it. I think one of the X factors, like a guy that has not been performing well, that we need to see perform well in order for us to win this game, is Jaheim Otis, man. He has the opportunity to change the trajectory of this game if he's a menace inside. We really need that sort of Jaheim Otis to be unleashed. Myers played good snaps last game. Man, I'm sorry, Martin. I don't even remember him. You'll have to forgive me. The recruits have played, the high school recruits, I think you're thinking of, have produced more than the transfer players. Yes, we may need to shift focus. I agree with our recruiting. Tyreek saying, Dave, all we need, 3 mean players. We will be good. Just very soft at times. Yeah, soft and undisciplined. But we showed the ability to play disciplined football against a really good Iowa State team, man. I know, 175. But if we're holding them to 175 yards, that means they got to be passing a little bit more. They got to be passing a little bit more. And strangely, I don't know. I like what could happen. I like what could happen with Devin Dampier passing the football much more than Utah just running the football. Absolutely. Robbie, what's going on, man? Yeah, Salter still needs to love the dink and dunk as much as the bomb splash plays. Yeah, I'm not saying we go 100% with the big shots, but yeah, incorporate the short game. I know that some of that can be a little bit of an extension of the run game. I hate how we run some of these long developing screens sometimes, but there are other times, I guess, where it has worked out for us. But where you need to stay away from is the over the middle of the field and that intermediate stuff over the middle, man. Salter's just shown that he can't do it. Cam Duncan. Utah didn't really impress me last weekend against BYU. Yeah. Again, they're one of the best teams in the Big 12, but that's the Big 12 for you, man. These teams aren't much. There isn't a huge disparity, man, like you'll find in the Big 10, right? Wisconsin, Rutgers. Then you got freaking Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana. How could I forget about Indiana? Because they destroyed Oregon. Yeah, keep things simple for Kaidon Salter. And Robbie bringing up a point. I would love for us, this would be a great week to incorporate some more use out of the tight end. That would throw Utah for a loop, right? Can Pat Shurmur scheme up some interesting creative play calls to really throw them off the Utah defense and incorporate Zach Atkins more into this offense? That would be great. Yeah, deep ball to Sincere, JoJo, Omari Miller. That's all we need to do, man. When you got man coverage with those guys, I think we got a better than a 50-50 shot at coming down with that or a pass interference when you got one-on-one coverage with our guys. Haba Bacon saying, seeing Dampier stats expect Utah to run power off tackle, ISOs in the C gap against our weak nickel defense. Yes, they run off tackle very, very well. And yeah, this might be a time where maybe we incorporate 5 down linemen. Wouldn't that be interesting? It would be interesting coming out with a front that they didn't prepare for, right? But I understand that could open up things maybe in the passing game to be more open. But again, I'd rather take that shot. I'd rather take that shot right now. And I think a lot of this is just mental with Kaidon Salter, man. So again, you're not hearing me talking about benching the quarterback or anything like that after the game he had last week against Iowa State. No doubt about it. Now let's continue to prove everybody wrong, right? Myself, everybody, that, hey, man, you guys were wrong for wanting Juju or heck, even Ryan Staub, right? Make me look like an idiot, baby. I want to see Kaidon Salter build on this. And yeah, hopefully the bye week was just again, not necessarily a time to reset, but a time to just, sit in that success that he had against Iowa State for a long time, going through practice, then can build on that in Utah. But we got off to a hot lead in Fort Worth, which is a rowdy environment, big time rowdy environment out there in Fort Worth, with us coming into town. So Utah has a great home field advantage, but this is nothing that should be scary to us, man. This is something that we should be able to handle. And one thing that we've shown is that we can get out to leads when we're underdogs, right? All right, guys. I think what's up? Take a few more questions or comments, and I'll get out of here. What up, Dave? Did y'all see the clips of 45 at running back today? Looked real explosive. Yeah, I like Ronald Coleman, man. That's cool. Yeah, and I'm not really making much out of the practice videos or whatever this season, man. I'm just not. Indiana's not real. They sure look damn real to me. Black Bully called the team lazy today. Oh God, probably the defensive line, man, because you got like 4 guys that play in the defensive line, right? Buddy, you're out. You're back in timeout now, guys. I'm shutting down the stream. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll be back tomorrow. Talk more Buffs. Want to give a quick shout out to the flagship sponsor of David Talks Buffs and David Talks Broncos YouTube channel, and that is Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market. This is peer-to-peer sports prediction where players play against each other, like you and me, instead of a sports book versus the house. You almost always get the best odds on any play that you're looking to make. They operate in over 40 states, including Texas, where I reside. So use the promo code Dave and claim up to $200 in profit cash for all plays in the first 30 days of playing on the site. Terms and conditions apply. Go ahead, click the link in the description, sign up using my promo code Dave on Profit X, and join me on America's #1 sports prediction market.